Welcome to the jump and welcome to 2024. I'm Rich Bowers and with me is Charlie Dunn. Good morning and Happy New Year, Charles.
Happy New Year, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And our topic today has been all over the news recently and, for the past year. Bitcoin in the past 12 months has increased in value nearly 160%, at one point being under $20,000 per token value and approaching nearly $45,000 per token this year alone. There's many reasons for this. One of the hotter ones is going to be a decision or a ruling occurring on January 10th, which may allow a spot Bitcoin ETF, right? So we're seeing a lot of ebbs and flows already based on the back and forth of what this ruling could be. But let's start on a positive. Charles, I know you have certain feelings about cryptocurrency, but let's talk about the benefits of why this spot ETF could be a good thing.
So, as I said, if you know what a spot Bitcoin ETF is, you need to touch grass right now. You need to go outside right now and enjoy nature. But I do know what a spot Bitcoin ETF is, unfortunately, and it means that it will, among other benefits, allow you to track crypto assets with as a traditional security, and it should enhance liquidity in the industry, essentially. All right, Rich?
Excellent. Yep, that's spot on. And it could lead to more stable prices, right? Especially when you're able to track liquidity. So basically, my understanding is that what this will do is an exchange trade fund will purchase these tokens. They will purchase them from holders of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, and then they will store these tokens in a digital wallet. Basically, they'll store it off to the side for security reasons, of course, and they will own that. Then what they'll do is they'll issue shares corresponding to the set number of tokens that they have or Bitcoins that they have. And also within an ETF, just like a traditional ETF that may hold stocks or so or commodities, they can rebalance it as they need it. So there's a lot of pros to this in the sense that the tokens are actually owned, though by the ETF, not necessarily the individual, as opposed to through futures contracts, which are promises to buy at a later time. So with this in play, we have seen, and we were talking about this, Charlie and I, just this morning, is that though there has been a nice rise of 160% over the past 12 months, we've even seen a handful of dips. Just recently, a few days ago, the crypto industry dropped, in some cases, nearly 10% because of a matrix point release, which said that the SEC chair Gensler may reject or will reject all spot Bitcoin ETFs, right? Charles, is this thing in peril of not being improved as initially expected?
You know, as you said, we're like, even this morning, we're seeing two pieces of very confident reporting saying that yes, this is definitely going to happen. No, this is definitely not going to happen. So I do think there is a peril, as you said, of it not happening. It is entirely possible that the sheer amount of scams and fraud are going to say they're going to say no, we're not going to do this. But there's been pressure on them to say, hey, there's so much money here, you have to approve these ETFs. So I think yes, there is peril of it not happening, but there's a good chance that it will.
Money talks, right? Is basically kind of what I'm reading between the lines there.
Exactly, yeah.
And some of the reasons why it may not is, it's common that the government feels that because it is decentralized, that regimes seeking to evade sanctions and exert control could be doing that, and that's going to lead us into probably some of our topics coming up here, right?
So crypto has been a speed run of the last 500 years of financial regulation, where every kind of fraud that humans have cooked up for the entire history of the financial industry has happened in 3 years in the crypto industry. People get into crypto or be like, no regulation, and then they get scammed and they're like, give us regulation. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, we have seen crazy volatile prices, reminding us of, before any of us were alive, the tulip bulb bust.
Yeah.
There has been nearly $1 billion in cyber theft of crypto, basically compromising private keys of companies or exchanges or holders of them. And then just this regulatory uncertainty adding to the volatility, even just on a national level for different countries. But let's zone in on one of the biggest news of last year and why this is all coming into basically a magnifying glass even more so recently is FTX, the lawsuits involving Sam Bankman-Fried. Can you tell us what happened there so we're aware?
So to make a very to make a very complicated story as short as possible, FTX was double counting the money that it had. It said it would take customer money, claim it was holding the money, and then spending that money on its other on other corporations. And
Mhm.
Sam Bankman-Fried was entirely aware of this, doing it on purpose, and making billions of dollars of fraudulent exchanges, stealing customers' money for his own personal assets. And he got caught, and now he's going to jail for a very long time.
7 counts of fraud, basically funneling customer funds to his sister firm.
Yes.
As Charlie said, double counting that, being actually convicted of concealing the misuse of customer funds. We also had Binance as well be another trading exchange or currency exchange, also under high profile. What happened there in a line or two?
So Binance was money laundering. Binance was turning a blind eye to some very nasty uses of money that they were fully aware of. That was where the money was coming from and going to, and they did nothing about it. And this one, what Binance was doing was really bad.
Yeah. No flags of protection. Employees knew what was going on, and it resulted in over a $4 billion settlement. So last question, Charles, as we're wrapping up here. Through all this, the cyber attacks, the uncertainty with regulation, and these massive issues with these currency exchanges, why has Bitcoin been so resilient in spite of all of these issues?
I think there is a certain allure to the concept of Bitcoin, to getting into for people who can, they feel like they can get in on the ground floor of a completely new way of tracking money, maybe a whole way of doing business, maybe a whole new kind of economy. And so cryptography is very complicated. It is very complicated math. And I think that kind of has a shocking effect on people. Like people like is shocking in the sense that that they just don't know how to process it. It's
Yeah.
so vast and complicated that they think, oh, this must be something. There must be something here. There's 2 scandals worth billions of dollars. That means there's billions of dollars in the industry. I could get in on some of that. So, in a weird way, these scandals have increased that allure of Bitcoin and that allure of cryptocurrency. That, like, okay, now that the bad actors are gone, all of that market is still there. Now, the thing is, the way I've always described it, blockchain is a solution in search of a problem. It is it is very interesting math. Decentralizing computation and decentralizing authentication is a marvelous magic trick of computer science. But as a currency or as an asset, it doesn't actually do anything. Bitcoin is just the solution to a math problem that sits on a hard drive somewhere that I say we, that you have all collectively decided has value. And all money is that, isn't it? All money is fiction. We all decide, hey, this has value. Why? Because we say it does. So I think that collective hype of the possibilities of cryptocurrency is what is keeping it relevant at this point.
Amazing points.
Hmm.
I mean, even just our traditional dollar, right? It's just
Yeah.
digital numbers now on a screen, nothing backed by it. So, and in adding to that allure of how does this thing occur, Bitcoin is also finite, right? And there's going to be a halving that will be happening in spring, which also can be adding to it. What is this halving? The algorithm that reduces the number of new tokens that can enter the market by half.
I mean, you make what you have even more valuable by preventing more
Exclusive,
being made. It's,
right? Exclusive.
exclusivity, that FOMO.
There you go. Charlie, wonderful. Thank you for sharing all this to start the year off. One more thing. I know this is right in your wheelhouse and a lot of our listeners. Off topic. The Game Awards of 2023 were announced of Game of the Year while we were gone. In one word, Baldur's Gate 3. Did they deserve it?
Yes.
There we go.
Baldur's Gate 3 is great. Play it.
For The Jump with Charles Dunn, I'm Rich Bowers. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks,
Happy New Year,
Charlie.
everybody. Bye.
Take care. Bye.